Okay.
Southeast Fort Shields across from high school.
If, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And the first item that isn't on the agenda, ahead of the agenda, is to make sure that everybody here knows Greg Hallman Jr., our newest Ward 4 representative. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you here. The minutes from the February meeting are immediately following the agenda. Does anyone have any corrections?
Move we approve.
Second. Rader and Francis for years. Yeah. Okay, that's taken care of. Yeah. Yes, okay, sorry. We should vote on that, yes. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay. Item for consideration. Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Vice Chairman and committee members. We have one item for your consideration today. One is we are requesting the allocation of $260,000 in 2007 general obligation bond authorization and listed street funds for project PJ-OK-0145. This is going to be an agreement with two other organizations, the City of Midwest City and Oklahoma County. This is for Sooner Road, which is from Northeast 23rd Street, half a mile to the south to where the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad has the facility. This portion of the Sooner Road is only 2-lane asphalt, and to the south of railroad tracks is already 4-lane, and to the north of the intersection of Northeast 23rd is also 4-lane. Traffic counts for the Sooner Road south of Northeast 23rd Street is 5,446. That was a 2012 count. To the north, we have 2,837 cars a day, which is 2010 count. So as you see, the traffic has been growing through this area. The condition of the pavement is bad. So Oklahoma County has agreed in principle to administer this project and to use labor and equipment to widen this street to 4 lanes. City of Oklahoma City and Midwest City, which we share the right-of-way from the center of this street, will split halfway the material cost. So the estimate that Oklahoma County has provided is $512,000 for the material, and also $74,000 for the labor, equipment, and administration. So half of the material cost for the City of Oklahoma City is $256,000, and we are asking a minimal $4,000 in addition because that's necessary for the administration of the agreements that we have to do. As far as the timeline goes, the agreement has been sent to the Oklahoma County. The Oklahoma County need to execute the agreements with their commissioners meeting. Then it will be forwarded to City of Midwest City, and their city council needs to approve that agreement. And then it'll come back to the Oklahoma City, and we put it through the city council for approval. But first we need to do this allocation for that agreement to be on its way. Any questions that I can accommodate?
Any idea when it'll be completed?
Again, depends on when the agreement is signed. Oklahoma County is estimating about 3 months construction time. So once we have that agreement, which may be a few weeks before we have it executed, so once that's done, about 3 months or less.
Move we approve.
Vote? Aye. All those approve? Aye. Aye. All opposed? It's approved. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one in your packets, we have placed the list of the 2014 bond sale, which has gone through, been approved by the City Council, and I believe the receipt of funds is this week. We were told after May 8th, those funds will be available. This year, we are fortunate that we have the highest bond sale in the last 7 years of 2007 authorization, $92.185 million. To give you some statistics, the GEO bond portion of 2007 bond has 11 propositions and has $760.5 million in both listed and unlisted monies. To date, with the 2014 bond sale, we have sold $448.8 million, which is about 59% of the total GEO bond funds. We are forecasting that another 6 years of bond sale will continue. Again, the highest was this year. The lowest was in 2009, which we only sold $37.2 million. As far as the projects, the 2007 GEO bond has 241 listed projects, which currently we are either 36% either are complete or under construction. And we have many projects in design, and again, a lot in the future as well that have to be sold and be built. What is for us in the next 3 years, we're going to be looking at mid-$50 million range, the way the forecasts are. We're hoping that it'd be more, but that's what we are looking at. Any questions that I can answer?
Just an informational, I don't understand how this process works. Could you give us a brief just explanation on the 14, we're 56%, is that what I heard you say?
You mean the completed and the construction projects, 36%.
No, the bonds that were sold,
59% of the total.
And so we already started on projects that will be funded from that 59%. Just need to understand kind of the process.
Okay. Some of these, again, these 2014 bond sales are the projects that are in design, and they will be, be awarded. Right, the 2014 projects you see here, they are in design, in final design. So they will be awarded in the next fiscal year, and we will come back to you in July meeting with a list of those projects that we are awarding in the next fiscal year.
And the council or the staff represents the council in terms of priority, how does that work?
Yes, the Public Works puts together the priorities. For instance, this year, the priorities are on resurfacing. And if you look at the street resurfacing, we have, about $52.5 million worth of projects that we are selling. We have, local street resurfacing. We have arterial street resurfacing, and also we have some of the street widening, listed street widening in that list.
But in July is when we'll see the priorities, is that Public Works will be?
Yes, we will be putting together a list of when these projects actually will be awarded for construction contracts.
I have a question. In that design, how firm or absolute is that design to be followed whenever the project is completed from when it was initially laid out?
Well, each one of these projects, there's a bond language that explains basically the general scope of work that we could do on particular projects. On the street widening project, we build, widen a road from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, plus, we provide curb and gutters, storm sewer, sidewalk on one side, things of that nature.
For my own information related to an ongoing project right now, when you say 2 lanes to 4 lanes, if you make a road that was, or plan to make a work, and you make the road 2 lane to 4 lane, does it have to be marked as a 4-lane road?
Yes.
Could it not be, say, 3 lanes with a turning lane and, say, bicycle lanes?
Well, when these projects were put in 2007 bond, the intention, I have to say, has been to widen from usually 2-lane to 4-lane facility. There wasn't any, money allowed for, say, additional lane like 5th lane or things like that. Again, those are something that could be looked at project by project
The
basis.
specific case I'm looking at is, to a layman's view, looks like it's just a matter of deciding where the stripes go. That there's no reason why the 4-lane wide road through an area that every surrounding neighborhood says they do not want a 4-lane road there. We understand that 4 people maybe said they wanted a 4-lane road there back 7 or 8 years ago, and the project is just now happening. The neighborhoods, the areas have changed quite a bit in that time. And we understand the need to have a better road that was there.
Sure, and other factors are taken into consideration. I mean, when the traffic growth is there, that we need to have 4 lanes for safety and providing better facility for the drivers, we need to provide that.
Not myself, but other people that I trust have done their research, say that the area in front of the school there will be less safe with 4 lanes than it would be with 3 lanes, with one of them being a turn lane. And the implication that was presented to us, to this group, was that, you can never change this. And the 5 surrounding neighborhoods do not understand why the striping couldn't be decided to be changed right up to the last minute.
If you want to give us a specific area and location, we can look it up, and
Okay.
I can kind of tell you legally. Do you know what location he's talking about?
No.
And we'd have to see whether, if we've already paid to have engineering on widening it to a 4-lane road,
That's all done.
then that might be a problem, spending bond funds on A&E that we could not use. So if we changed our
would be using
mind... Okay, well, I'm not an engineer, so
yeah.
if you changed your mind and weren't doing a 4-lane road, but you were doing a bike lane, which maybe isn't as wide, or you were doing a turn lane instead of a...
3 plus 2 bike lanes would be equivalent to 4 lanes.
Okay, I don't know how wide a bike lane is
I'll
or
talk to you
anything.
later. Thank you.
It's just going to
Let me
depend on
add one
the
more, if you are
circumstance.
talking about the bike lane, you need to also provide the bike trail continuity. So if you just build a mile of bike lane that doesn't connect anywhere, we need to have it connected to the existing trails as well. That's also another consideration.
Okay, thank you.
Provide us with the specific project we can
Thank you.
look at.
Yes, I'll take my other questions offline. Thank
Sure.
you.
Mr. Vice Chair, I have another question.
Yes.
4 or 5 months ago, you'll recall this body passed a resolution that went on to City Council that recommended consideration be given to bus shelters on street widening projects as long as I guess today it's Embark, isn't it? The transportation folks, with consultation with them in terms of there's a need and if there's funds available on that particular project. And it just occurred to me sitting here, that now policy, that moves on into this next phase down the future with future bond issues. Is that correct? Can I assume that?
Yes, any street project that we have that, may have bus routes or other, we want to definitely have a conversation with COTPA and also see if, that project is, really needing bus shelters, and we will look at the consideration.
Can, as a matter of course, can I ask if included in down the future in reports that whenever we are doing a street widening project, or improvement project, I should say, that there will be kind of an explanation on what the outcome was in terms of why or why not a shelter was considered?
We could do that. Majority of the projects that you can apply that is a streetscape project or a widening project that, has bus routes and has a lot of pedestrian or, bus.
I understand. I guess what I'm asking is that on those, again, street improvement projects, just a little asterisk explaining why or why not, either something is being or why it's not, I think would be just good information.
Are you recommending that we put this in the city council memos, or where would you like this?
Well, I can't propose what we do with the council, but I for this body, just for a record and keeping track, is that possible that we do that?
Sure. On the projects that come, we come to you for requests. Are you? Sure, we can look at that.
Any other questions? Any items of new business?
We do have a item B as an
Oh,
information item
yes.
to present as well.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I stopped you too early. You also have that item.
Sure, I've got that one.
Oh, you've got it. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Lee, do we have a slide for that one? Item B? Okay. We wanted to provide some additional information to the committee. At this meeting, we meet monthly and have an internal oversight committee meeting with the city manager's office, and we provide them with financial information, and we thought we'd pass that along to you this month. This report here looks at our contract awards and expenditures through the month of April. We'll just highlight a couple things that are on this report. Year to date, we have awarded $51.4 million in GO bond projects. We have around $10.6 million in projects that are out for bid at this time that will be awarded in May. Also, through the month of April, we have expended actually $44.3 million in GO bond funds. If you look at the box highlighted number 2, the IRS requires that when we sell GO bonds that we expend at least 85% of those funds within a 3-year period. So here we're highlighting the last 3 bond sales. And as you can see, in 2011, we're currently at 86% expended, so we have met the requirement on that sale year. 2012, we are currently at 48%, so we have through May 16th of next year to reach the 85%. And then on the 2013 sale, we're currently at 13%, but we have till April of 2016 to reach our 35% on that one. This chart here shows what Public Works' original target was back in July of last year. They were tasked with reaching just around $70 million in contract awards. So that top line represents that. The red line represents the actual contract awards through April, which they're currently just a little over $50 million. And they spoke at our last oversight meeting that they have projects identified in which they plan to meet their $70 million goal. The other line that's on this chart, we just highlighted those actual expenditures we've reached throughout the year. So that's represented there with that bottom line. And that's it for our financial report. We just kind of wanted to brief you guys on. I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are.
My kind of color, I think that the target is the first, that goes to the higher number.
Yes.
That goes all the way up.
Yes, yes.
On the 85% requirement, that's a combination of listed and unlisted funds?
Yes.
So the follow-up with this year seems quite short. Are they optimistic we can get to yard?
Yes. I don't know if, Maude, if you want to speak to that.
Yes, we do have projects that have been advertised for bidding, and, May usually is when we have to advertise them and bid, have the bid opening for June awards. So yes, we are very confident we should reach, the 70 million. Of course, some of the bids may come lower, which we always like to. It may be a little bit below 70, but as long as we meet the projects, that's what it counts.
Michael, I have one other quick question, unrelated to any of this. On bidded projects, is there, and when they're scored, is there preference given to local contractors?
Yes, they have to be pre-qualified with the city of Oklahoma City, and they have to be local.
They have to be,
They could be out of state, but they have to be registered and be pre-qualified to bid.
pre-qualified, they have to be registered in here,
Exactly.
but necessarily
And be
not.
pre-qualified.
Not operating in here.
But, I can tell you, majority of the projects are local contractors. Now, projects like, large projects, they may be joint ventures with out-of-state vendors, but majority are local. Any other questions?
Thank you. Any other items from committee members? Any citizens to be heard? Entertain a motion to be
So
heard.
moved.
Second? Thank you. We are adjourned.